Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Kim Coles here with a very special Kimspiration and Story with Kim, or Story Time with Kim, message for everyone. So, number one, checking in. How are you doing with our time? I don't want to call it a crisis. I know it's a crisis with our pandemic. Yeah, that's what we call it, but I'm going to call it our time that we're spending in introspection. Of course, there's something in my eye right now as soon as I start. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. I've got just number one, checking in to see how everyone is doing today. How are your emotions? How are you feeling? How are you doing on lockdown? We here in California are still required and recommended that we stay shut in. In fact, they just closed the beaches and the state parks and some other outdoor experiences. People went to the beach this weekend and carried on. They're carrying on, even though our governor said to stay in. And I understand that people want fresh air. You might have a little bit of cabin fever. I know I do. I'm getting so much work done, though. I am getting so much work done and getting so much rest done. Yesterday, I rested and I took a nap for the ages. So hello, everyone. I'm checking in on you. How are you doing? I would not ever call it that. Evan Chandra Scott, I would not call it that because I think that's not what it's called. I will not call it that. So don't worry. Trying to stay healthy. Hey, homie, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing okay. I hope you all are doing all right too. I'm actually working on some content for you that will actually won't make you, but it will lend you to feeling even better. I've been going live almost every day for the last few days, and I know that people feel shut in and locked in. I know some people feel a little scared still. I am actually not fearful for some reason, and maybe it's because I'm not watching too much of the news. I watch just enough to know what's going on, and I'm surrounding myself with incredible positive energy, so much done. And I said this yesterday that when I fling the doors open after the coronavirus is over, after our crisis, our pandemic, whatever we're calling it, is over, I plan to emerge renewed, refreshed. I've gotten things done, and I think we should take this time to really be productive, both personally productive, meaning get your meditation on, get your prayer on, clean your home, purge. I'm purging things. I'm finding things I didn't even know I had that I didn't even want. And I think we could use this time to do the best with our time while we're staying healthy. I'm doing things to boost my immune system. And in fact, as soon as I'm done with this, in 30 minutes, I'm about to go outside and exercise. Luckily, I live in California where the weather is pleasant still. I'm going to go out in my backyard and do some, calisthenics, like old school stuff, so that I can, the old school stuff works, like, push-ups and planks, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to go do it. All right. I hope you all are well. So I wanted to take today to do a tribute to our medical heroes. Let's send some love and what I'm now calling love bombs to our medical heroes, our medical sheroes, our nurses, our RNs, our CNAs, our doctors who are just on the front lines and doing what they got to do with what they got. They're making the most of what they have with limited supplies and people who are fearful and just doing their best. And so I thought that I would come on and do a tribute to them and tell my very favorite doctor story. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to tell you my very favorite doctor story. It's a very personal story, and it's something I've never talked about before. And I'll try not to tell it in a way that will make you squeamish, but a piece of the story is something I've never told before. So hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. So amen to all of the wonderful medical heroes and sheroes and angels. Let's send them lots of love bombs, and thank them for their service. So several years ago, and this is many, many years ago, like in the 90s, I would say after living single, but before the turn of the century, I would say the late 90s. I went to the doctor. And so if anybody's going to get squeamish, I'm just going to say, hold on to your hat. Hold on to your hat. I'm about to say something that might make someone squeamish. So I'm going to give you a chance to jump off. I found out that I had a cyst on my ovary. I'm fine. It was just a cyst. Actually, I used to have really bad fibroids too. If you want to have a conversation about fibroids and health in that general region, I can have a whole conversation about that. So I'd gone to the doctor. I was having a difficult time with my my monthly time. And she did a scan and found out that I had a cyst on one of my ovaries. And she was pretty certain that it wasn't dangerous, but she said, let's go in and remove it. And around the same time, I was having trouble with my knees, and I'd gone to see my this orthopedic doctor who is now since retired. And he was like, Kim, you've got a torn meniscus. We need to go in there and clean it up. And so I got the bright idea that I could do 2 surgeries at once. And here's the thing, if you're going to be put under, and certainly a torn meniscus can be done orthoscopically, where they just put you in that twilight sleep. I want to say that this might have been my second surgery, and he was like, we're putting you under, because I'd had a torn meniscus in my knee before. And I don't know if you can have a meniscus any place other than your knee. I should look that up. I don't know. And I think I had torn it again. He was like, this time I'm putting you under because you be messing it up. And so I decided I'm going to do both surgeries at the same time. Just put me under once, because who wants to do anesthesia more than once? Although anesthesia you will ever get. Anybody here ever had a surgery and you woke up from your surgery and I was like, come on, you guys, aren't we going to get this done? They're like, what are you talking about? It's done. Like it's the sleep that you get that you don't even know that you're asleep. You wake up and you literally lose time. The best rest I've ever gotten. Okay. So happens that both my gynecologist, who was going to be doing my surgery on my ovaries, and my orthopedic surgeon both happen to be African American. And I got this idea in my head that not only should I do both surgeries at the same time, wouldn't it be cool if I also got an anesthesiologist who was also African American? So in my mind, I thought to myself, and I'd already planned that I was going to write a blog about it afterwards, that I had made a decision. And I mean, I've had white doctors, I've had Asian doctors, I've had a Latina doctor, I've had all of the above, but I thought it would be really cool to come out of this and say, or actually to go under and say, when I look up, each one of the doctors looks like a family member of mine, an auntie or an uncle or a grandfather. I just thought that would be really cool. Let me see if I can find everyone that when I go under, I will go under and I will look up at all brown faces. It was just an idea. And so I asked both my gynecologist, who's Black, and my orthopedic surgeon, who's also Black, to find me a Black anesthesiologist. And they did. And I'm not going to tell you his name, because this was the best ever. I'm prepped. It's all agreed upon. It's all going to happen. And what's funny is that my gynecologist said, I have an assistant, but he's an Italian. Is that okay with you? And I was like, sure. He's got curly hair. We'll be fine. That was in my mind. I was like, the next best thing. So I was like, I got a brother doing my knee, a sister doing my ovaries. I got an Italian man as the assistant, and get me a brown anesthesiologist. They found someone. And so the day was chosen and I went in to be prepped. It is the best sleep, Nicole. The best. You go to sleep and you don't even know. You wake up and you go, what's going on? Why y'all tripping? They're like, you look at your bandages. You're fine. You're done. So the anesthesiologist that they chose was a big, tall, like maybe 6'7" tall, big hunkin' brother, big man who just looked like he could be my uncle. And he came in to prep me. And, listen, by the way, when the times I've had surgery in my life, I've had a few surgeries, all, knee, or I've had a couple of, ovaries a couple of times. My ovaries had cysts and I had to have them handled. Every time I get a spa treatment before I go. So I go to the hospital looking refreshed. I get my hair usually freshly braided because I know they're going to put that little cap on, that little funny looking cap. I'm going to be wearing these green or blue or whatever color robes. So I'm going to look as refreshed. I get my nails freshly done. I get a massage and a facial so that I go in and it's a spa treatment. So I'm laying in the bed. You've had no food the night before. And in walks my anesthesiologist. And he introduced himself. Hello, how are you? How are you? He begins to ask me a series of questions about my medical history. And he's a brother. And he's going there, really, really doing his professional thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that I did this thing. And then he asked me a series of questions in a way that was, I'll just imitate it. This was the question. So I'm going to ask you a question right now, and I need you to answer me. Tell me the truth. I said, of course, sir, of course. He said, is your nose clean? And I said, yes. What do you mean? What? I think I blew my nose. What? He said, no. Is your nose clean? I said, so what do you, and he leaned in like he was like, I don't know, like Ike Turner or something. I said, is your nose clean? I said, sir, what are you talking? I took a bath this morning. And he said, no, I need to know if you do nose candy, if you do any kind of drugs, I need to know. Because you know how you entertainers do. I was like, no, sir, I am clean. I haven't even had a cocktail in months. He said, I just need to know. There's no judgment. I'm not going to have a problem with you, but as your anesthesiologist, I need to keep you alive. And I need to know if you have any drugs in your system. So tell me now, is your nose clean? And he did it really quietly. Like he should have said, ma'am, do you have any cocaine in your system? But he did it like a brother to a sister. I need to know, is your nose clean? And I was like, I was what? And I couldn't be offended. He just did it with a little bit of flair. And he did it like, just so you know, I need to know because I need to keep you alive. I ain't gonna tell nobody. He said, I would never put it in your record. I said, sir, I promise you, I don't have any cocaine in my system. I do not do cocaine. He said, all right, then we all right then. And then he went back to filling out the form. And yes, it was, I didn't know he meant drugs. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know. I guess I'm just not that hip. I don't know. And it always struck me as so funny. Now, years later, one of my best friends went, and in fact, I love her. I love her so much. Dr. Leslie Puser Osetutu, who I went to high school with, decided to become a doctor. And she'd always had this dream of becoming a doctor. And she didn't do it until she was in her 40s. And I was so proud of her. And by the way, the sub message for everyone here is, I don't care what your dreams are, that it is never too late to pursue your dreams. Most people, go straight to medical school right after college. And she didn't do that. She began raising her son. She worked, she taught, she did all these things, but she kept this dream in her soul that she was going to go and become a doctor. And when she did, she became an anesthesiologist. And so I was able to tell her that story. And to this day, we laugh so hard because she said, I would never do it that way. But I love that he did it that way in a cute, funny, familiar, like, girl, you're going to need to let me know the truth. Don't lie to me because I need to keep you alive. It's my job. And now that I understand how anesthesiologists work, because she's one, and I've been able to ask her questions and medical questions, and she explains to me that we need to know all of it because it's our job to keep you alive as the doctors do their thing. So somebody said the booger sugar. I'm not even looking at your comments. He was keeping it real. He was keeping it real. He said, you know how you entertainers are. I said, sir, we're not all the same. I was a little bit insulted, but so amused And years later, I had to have another surgery. This is years and years later. And I actually requested him, and his office reached back out to me and said, "Oh my goodness, he said he just loves you and adores you. He's on vacation right now. And unfortunately, those dates won't work for him, but he loves you and sends you his best." And so there was something so beautiful about a relationship that I had chosen to create for myself, that when I closed my eyes, every face that I looked in was either brown or olive, because there was an Italian guy with very curly hair. My doctor sent me a picture of him, and he was olive and had super curly hair. And I was like, I'm going to go to sleep with this thing that I created for myself. And I thought it was really cool. And that I was giving opportunities in my mind. You know, these are all working doctors. So who do I think? Kim Coles is giving opportunities for you to surgerize on her. But I had a really good time, and I've always wanted to create like a blog post, and I was going to call it Black Like Me, or that all the faces looked like my uncles or my grandfathers or my father or my mother. And I thought it was a really cool thing to do. And so I thought I would come and share it with you, that I love and respect the medical profession so much. And before I go to the doctor, I always do my own homework so that I can ask really intelligent questions and be really informed about my health. And I want you all to do that too. Please don't listen to all of the conspiracy stuff, because right now the conspiracy stuff doesn't matter. What matters is keeping yourself healthy and well. And health means full-bodied health, mind, body, spirit. Keep yourself healthy. Do what you need to do to feel good. Keep your nose clean. Keep your nose clean in all the ways that you got to keep your nose clean. But do what you need to do and be informed about your health. Know your history, know your numbers. I just got some numbers recently, and that's the reason why I'm going to be outside exercising, because I plan to be here for a very, very long time. All right, you guys, I hope this was a little bit of fun for you. Is your nose clean? I said, what? I said, is your nose clean? I guess he didn't want the nurses to hear him asking. I'm glad he was able to check that box on the form he was filling out. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'm going to come back tomorrow with something amazing. It's going to be a way for you to keep yourself healthy. I would say spirit. Remember I said body, mind, and spirit? I have a way to keep yourself really healthy and up by keeping your spirits up. We really must keep our spirits up at this time. In fact, I think that's a part of the health. It's a holistic experience, a holistic body, mind, and spirit experience. You've got to really keep your physical bodies healthy, your emotional self healthy, and your spiritual self healthy too. However it is that you practice or pray or meditate or however you do it, it's about doing it in a way where you're still feeding your soul at this time. All right. I'll come back tomorrow and talk to you all about it. I love you too. Thank you so much, and keep your nose clean. Much love, bomb to all in the medical field. We thank you. We pray for you. We bless you, and we're glad that we've got you. Everybody have a wonderful day, night, or whensoever you watch this video. Bye.